We live our lives is changing to reduce damaging greenhouse gases. Big businesses already face carbon taxes, but Downing Street is considering other ways to deter us from carbon-intensive choices, including paying more at the butchers.
Would you be prepared to pay a carbon tax on things like meat and cheese?
Yes, I would, because it costs the environment to produce those things, so I don't see why not.
I don't think so, no, because I think these times now are hard enough with people getting unemployed, plus the COVID thing, and I think that people shouldn't be getting extras put on them.
Carbon taxes could be levied on all sorts of products and services, from gas heating to the production of cheese.
It's hugely unfair on British farmers when they're so engaged and ahead of many other countries in their environmental journey. You know, many of them are investing heavily in renewables, improving biodiversity, and they're really on board with the journey.
The government has announced some high-profile policies, like an end to the sale of new petrol and diesel cars by 2030. But in the year it hosts the landmark COP26 climate conference, there's an expectation of bold decision-making on how to reduce emissions.
Which is why plans for a new coal mine here off the Cumbrian coast have been met with incredulity. The backlash against the decision made last year isn't going away. In an open letter, the former NASA scientist James Hansen described government support for the mine as humiliating, writing, "Prime Minister Johnson, your actions and decisions now will either establish or undermine your claim to climate leadership." Rebecca Willis's job is to work out how to keep the public on side whilst tackling climate change.
When you have a government that is, suggesting a carbon tax on the one hand and approving new coal mines on the other hand, that's really problematic. At the very best, it's confusing for people, and at the worst, actually, it's irritating and will actually turn people against the need to tackle climate change altogether.
What becomes of this site for the proposed coal mine will have ramifications beyond Cumbria in this critical year for tackling climate change. Lisa Holland, Sky News.